everyone. Welcome back. My name is Julia and I'm here today to give you the sort of part 2 of my thoughts on the new Auric Cosmetics Mirage Shift Cream Cheek Palette launch. I did my first impressions yesterday and I wanted to keep trying it out for a couple of days and see if my thoughts on it evolved at all. And so it's the next day and I wanted to apply it with you again on camera, kind of check in throughout the day and see if anything changes. If I still don't have clear thoughts on it by the end of the day, then we'll do this tomorrow as well. But today I'm gonna be putting it through a little bit of a big test because the only thing I have in my schedule is going to the gym. So I will be wearing makeup at the gym and that's totally fine by me. If you'll recall, I also bought Glow Lust. I got the mini. This is the shade Morganite, which is the lightest shade. And I also got the lip balm, but the lip balm is downstairs, so I'll keep you apprised of my thoughts later. I can talk a little bit about my first thoughts on it a little bit later. But for now, I want to get some makeup on my face. So I plan on using Morganite, the Glow Lust, in the same way that I use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter or this e.l.f. dupe that I've been using. And that's basically all over my face, but especially under my eyes as like an under eye corrector. This is less peachy than the Charlotte Tilbury version of this is in the lightest shade, or the e.l.f. is in the lightest shade. So I'll show you. The Auric is you can see quite neutral, and the e.l.f. version, this is the lightest shade, shade 0.5, is in comparison much peachier. So that's the Auric and that's the Charlotte, the e.l.f. I keep calling it Charlotte Tilbury because they look exactly the same. So I'm not sure if this is gonna do the same like under eye color correcting as this one does, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So I'm just gonna dot it all over my face. I got the mini size just because I wasn't sure about it. So I'm just putting it kind of everywhere, but I am putting a little bit extra under my eyes, and now I look kind of crazy. And I'm just gonna buff it out with the normal brush I use for this step. It's the Refer 04 brush. And this is just going on top of sunscreen. This is how I apply products of this category. I never use them on top of makeup. I always use it as a base step. And then I sometimes put product on top, sometimes I don't. On a day like today, when I'm just going to the gym, I would have just put on the Charlotte Tilbury or the e.l.f. I keep calling it Charlotte Tilbury. I would just put on the e.l.f. and that would have been it for complexion. But I think I am going to put makeup on top of it today. Actually, no, I wouldn't put makeup on it normally on a day like today, so I'm not gonna put makeup on it now. I will put blush on top. I should not have put this on my chin. It looks like the Tin Man on my chin specifically. I don't know why that is. So here's my skin up close. It is closer to the actual color of my skin than the e.l.f. is, which is good. Like, it didn't darken anything at all. But because of that, it also didn't really do anything for my under eyes. That's why I kind of like the slight peachy tone of the e.l.f. and the Charlotte Tilbury. It works as a mild color corrector and just kind of tones things down a little bit. But yeah, it looks good. My chin looks really, I shouldn't have put any extra on my chin. I should just use the Ridges roll. It looks lit up from space, but I don't hate it. It'll mellow, I'm sure. So that's Glow Lust. And now I'm going to put the Mirage Shift on top of it. I got the shade Daybreak, if you weren't around yesterday. And my original thoughts were that My favorite thing was the bronzer. I really like this tone for me. And I was saying that it's very similar to the Patrick Ta formula, where it's thin, semi-translucent, and balmy. It's not one of those lipsticky cream blush formulas like the Rose Ink or the Refi. It is thinner than that. And I don't hate that. I actually like that a lot. So here's the bronzer. And I think that looks really fucking good. I love the Patrick Ta formula, so this actually worked out really well for me. I am gonna go in and put a little bit of the bronzer kind of in my crease as a little bit of dimension. This is the Sephora Pro Collection brush number 27. Just get a little bit down a fluffy brush. I'm just gonna put it in my crease, because this is how I usually use bronzer on the daily. I have the Kosas bronzer in the shade Waves, and this has been my daily driver. I've been putting it all over my face and up through my crease for a little bit of dimension. And I haven't been really wearing a lot of eyeshadow recently. I'll put this on and then a like sparkly cream shadow on the inner corner, and that's basically what I've been doing. That actually looks really nice as a cream shadow. That worked out really well, actually. Super easy to blend. Really nice tone. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm down. Okay. So now we're gonna do the cream blush, and oh, should I do the highlight again? Yeah, let's put the highlight on. I'm gonna do the underpainting like I did yesterday, and just put it on my cheekbones. And actually, I'm gonna put a little bit on my eyelid as well. And before anyone says anything, no, I'm not expecting these cream products to perform exactly like eyeshadows. I'm expecting some creasing, and honestly, that's kind of the look I like. A little messy, lived in. Yeah, that's nice. It just adds like a little bit of brightness. There's the highlight. Is the highlight on top of Glow List like a little bit extra? One could argue that. I wouldn't argue that, but one could argue that. And now we're gonna do with the blush on top. I feel like in order to use this palette properly, like you really have to go the distance on the balm. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do like 3 or 4 swipes in the blush, and then 2 swipes on the balm. God damn, that's pretty. But it's a really nice color. Gotta give it to her. She knows her tones. And then I'm gonna do what I always do, but I'm just gonna do the blush for this. So I'm just going into the blush a couple times onto the forehead. And then one other extra little tap, a little bit on the chin and bridge of nose. That's what I always do for my blush. And I usually bring it kind of like here. So I basically blush all over my face all the time. Here is the blush. I think it looks really nice. I think this whole look looks really nice, actually. It looks like I have foundation on. Like this actually provided a fair bit of coverage. Like this is, I basically only use light to medium coverage foundation. I'm using the Refi concealer all over my face as foundation, and then Salt New York Sneaky Bomb are like the only 2 foundations that I use. And this is basically the same coverage, so I don't hate it. I'm now just going to finish up my makeup. I'm just gonna put on some brow mascara. I'm gonna use the Glossier Tube mascara, and I'll check in with you guys later. I'm not gonna put anything else on, and we'll see how it holds up at the gym. Hey guys, just got to the gym. It's been about 2 hours since I put on the makeup, and I wanted to do a car check-in because we all know that car lighting is the one that really tells the tale. And I think everything looks really good. Let me get you up close so you can see. Honestly, the blush is a little bit worn down since when I first put it on, but I'm having none of the texture issues that I had with the highlight yesterday. So the bronzer still looks great. It still looks like I just put it on. It's a blush that's got a little bit worn down a little bit, and that's probably because of the balm. So I think tomorrow I'm going to test it without mixing it with the balm and see if the color lasts a little bit longer. But now I'm going to go work out and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to do anything particularly sweaty. I strength train, so I think it should last fine, but we'll see. All right. Whoops. Hi everyone. It's been like 7.5 hours since I put on the Auric cream blushes, and it's basically gone. The highlight's still there though. The glowless though, MVP, unsung hero. It still looks fantastic, and I was right. It did mellow on the chin, but it still looks really beautiful. And I've realized I've neglected to talk about this guy. This is Plush Ritual Recovery. So it has a metal tip right there. I should have cleaned it before I showed you. And this is the back where you squeeze out the product. So you squeeze it out like that, put it on, and then you can use the metal applicator to rub it in. Honestly, I wish it just came out of the metal part. It would just make it so much easier to apply it instead of having to flip it over halfway through, but you know, small details. It's not scented, which is fine. I like a scent. Like my favorite lip balms are the Summer Fridays ones. Like you can see how like there's literally nothing left in there. I have them lying around all over the place, and I do like that like sensorial experience of having a scent, and this doesn't, and that's fine. It is very nice. It lasts quite well on me. I would say it's comparable in the amount of time it lasts to the Summer Fridays. However, this one is much better at like digging deep in there and making sure they're super hydrated. I don't know if you've ever experienced this with like a really heavy duty lip balm. It like rehydrates all the dead skin on your lips and makes it start like coming off in balls. I hope that's not just a me thing and I'm like really weird and disgusting, but that's what this does, which means that it's working and it's actually doing something. Like it's not just cosmetically pretty, although it is very glossy and nice looking. It's actually like getting deep within the layers of my lip skin, which is nice. Like it's doing it right now. Like it feels gritty because my lip skin's coming off, but it's not the product, it's me. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. And like it's kind of gross at first, but then I'm like, well, I get like it's actually doing something, right? So yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. I don't think at this point I would buy another one. It's slightly more expensive than Summer Fridays, and I think I would just rather go, you know, not have to pay shipping, get this at Sephora, and just use this. But this isn't bad. I'm glad I have it. I like the applicator, but just not for me. But overall, here are my thoughts on the Cream Cheek. It is incredibly beautiful, especially the bronzer is quite nice. The balm though basically makes it lose all tenacity, all longevity. It just doesn't stay. Like it's been 7 hours. There's not a blush in sight, like even on my forehead where I haven't touched it. Like it just doesn't last very long once you mix the balm into it. And that's expected, right? That, you know, adding that extra emollient, that extra oil will make the product break down faster. So it's just something to keep in mind. I think in the future, I'm going to tap the balm on top of like where I just put the highlight, because the highlight can look a little bit textured and the balm really helps with that, but at the same time it does reduce longevity. So I don't think I'm going to be using the balm very much. Like I said in the last video, the closest texture formula comp I have for it is definitely the Patrick Ta. If you like that formula, I think you'd really like this. If you don't like that formula, I think you will really not like this, and you might be disappointed. The best formula, I think, is the bronzer. It is incredibly easy to use, and I think the highlight and the balm are the least successful for me in this palette. The highlight, more because of its color and its bright white flash. The formula is fine. It is very similar to the Salt New York highlight in its kind of, they both feel very thin. I would not be surprised. I should have done this earlier. So this is, this is the, oh my gosh, I can't even tell the difference between my fingers. Can you tell the difference? I can't. So now I have to re-swatch them because I literally don't know which one is which. So this is the Salt New York on my middle finger. And this is the Auric on my pointer finger. Salt New York, Auric. Salt New York, Auric. They're nearly identical, honestly. I would not be surprised if the formula that Sam ended up with for the palette was heavily inspired by this, because I know she likes these, and they are very, very similar. Very thin, almost slippery in texture. These are a lot thinner than you would think. If you prefer a more lipsticky, thick, creamy blush like the Refi, then I don't think you're gonna like it. So this is the Refi blush, very different color, but I think you'll be able to see what I mean when I say lipsticky, right? Like that's the Refi, and this is a very juicy swatch of the Auric. They're just not the same. This has some translucency to it. This doesn't. And I don't think the translucency is bad. My favorite cream blush formula is the Patrick Ta formula, which it's very similar to, but I just want you to know what you're getting. You're not getting something insanely pigmented, and mixing the balm in it with it dilutes it even more. I'll show you. It really dilutes it. And so you kind of have to choose between having that really glossy finish and some more tenacity with the product. So it's all up to you. I hope I have given you enough information about this, about Glow Lust, about the Plush Ritual Recovery to help you make some good decisions, because I know just how expensive this product is. Honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this a 7.5, 8. And I might buy the medium because I think I'll like the blush color in the medium a lot. And I hope she comes out with refill soon, because I would just buy a refill of the medium blush color and put that in my magnetic palette. And I also think I'm gonna go through the bronzer very quickly. I think this is gonna be my new daily driver bronzer. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. Please leave any questions you have about the formulas in the comment section. I hope that I can, give you some more context and information. And like, subscribe. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.